Alright. So, I just want to preface this video before you watch it. I did record it last night, and when I started, I thought it was just going to be maybe a few things I didn't agree with, or a few things I did agree with. Give you my take on it, and right from the get-go, on this mail they sent me, they were giving me totally bad information, and had I not had my 2 years experience now, I would have followed it. And I think there's a lot of new players out there are probably following this. And you shouldn't. Watch this whole video, because the whole video, to grasp the essence of it, okay? It's all pretty important. I do apologize if I come off a little moody or upset, but it really got to me. I started off, I didn't know what was going on. I did it straight off the cuff. I read through it, and just instantly, from the get-go, the first 20, 25 minutes of it is all bad information they give us. And I feel sorry for the new players that are following it. You got to understand, Scopely's trying to make money. And they're coming at it maybe from a different perspective than I am. But I've played free-to-play, and I've spent now. I would advise anybody to spend on this game because it's a great game. But this guide that they're sending out to people in the mail in the first day or two is telling you to do something you should not do, especially free-to-play. If you're a spender, it don't matter what anybody tells you. You can do whatever you want. You're going to have more than enough resources and money to do what you want to do. I just want to preface it. I don't want you guys to get a bad impression of what I'm trying to do here. I'm not a negative person. I have a good perspective on things. A glass half full type of guy. I'm trying to help the community. Watch my beginner's guide after you watch this, and you'll understand why it upset me so much, because the information they're giving you is, I want to say a good half of that mail was total junk, and the other 25% was just text from the game that you're going to get on your own anyway. It didn't help you in any way, shape, or form, and the other 25% was actually good, great information you need to follow. Because I recommend the same thing, and I'll explain why. They are very, very vague, and even if they explain the reasoning behind it, I don't know if they could find a factually good reason for why they're telling you to do what they want you to do, or they think you should do, other than they want you to mess up and have to spend tons of money to save your account. I'd like to think that that's not true, but again, they're in the business to make money, not do it for free and give things away and just create this awesome game you can love and enjoy for the rest of your life, all free. So I don't know what their intentions were. I hope they were good and their heart was in the right place, but they totally missed on this. Okay, check it out. Watch the video. Please watch it all. It's gonna help you more than anything. This video is, the whole mail letter is just insane. It's getting me fired up again, bro. I'm gonna go ahead and let you watch now. I'm gonna edit this onto the front. I just want to preface it. It triggered me hard, man. Like, it's some of the stuff they're saying in there is so dumb. I don't know who they think they're talking to. Anybody with any common sense is going to see what I'm saying here, all right? So just enjoy the video. I hope it helps you more than it hurts anything. Yeah, we'll see you in the next one, guys. Welcome, everyone. I'm GpaSilverMane, and this is a Marvel Strike Force Meta Player Guide. And this is released actually by Marvel Strike Force. They sent me a letter in the mail in-game, because I started a new account, and I'm actually on my second day. I think they sent it the first day, really. And it's the Meta Player Guide, so we're going to dive in and see what that exactly entails from the mouth of Marvel Strike Force. Now, they did take into consideration and everybody's opinions and thoughts from several of the top content creators for Marvel Strike Force. So let's kind of see what they came up with. I just wanted to go over it and, if nothing else, show you what they say we should do, as opposed to what other people say. I think it's going to be very, very interesting. Before we jump in here, if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button. Really helps the channel. We're trying to get to 1,000 subs. Love to do this full time. Also, if you like the video, find it interesting or anything like that, go ahead and smash that thumbs up. It'll recommend it to more of the Marvel Strike Force community and get this information out there. All right, let's go ahead and dive in real quick. August 3rd, 2021. Marvel Strike Force is a game that is perpetually being updated, and thus the meta game, most popular current characters, is constantly evolving. This is a consolidated guide to help the new and returning players quickly get caught up on efficient ways to play in the current environment to achieve victory. Best characters / teams for new players. Let's see what we got here. In the early stages of the game, your focus will likely be on characters that can help you advance to the campaigns and other requirements to recruit legendary characters. Though recurring limited time events to unlock legendary characters. Okay. To unlock the villains campaign, you'll need to unlock a second villain character after Elektra. The Sinister Six faction are accessible early in the game and will eventually help you unlock not one, but two legendary characters, Shuri and Invisible Woman. I'm going to carry on before I make a statement here. If you recently started a brand new account, there are several heroes that you unlock for free, including Thor, Deadpool, Captain America. It's recommended that you level up the free characters you receive to get through the Heroes campaign quickly. The goal is to get Heroes Node 6-9, where you can earn character shards for the powerful Captain Marvel, who will help you continue to progress through the campaigns and in raids. Okay. In the Blitz store, I'm going to say right now you don't want Captain Marvel. She's a nuke. She hits hard. She's wonderful. She's amazing. She's a lot of energy. She ain't in no real team. She's a plug-and-play character, and she's been power crept. I can't believe this is August 3rd that they released this and are telling people to do this. Also, this is their own personal guide, and they say you need to unlock a second villain character after Elektra. Elektra and Crossbones are given to you through those event campaigns, or it's almost like a legendary event campaign for Star-Lord. They're consistent. You can do them whenever. So that's 2 of the 3 you need for Villains campaign. The third one that you'll get no matter what, usually within the first 3 to 4 days. And if you want to, you can actually focus farm somebody from the Blitz store. I went after Hydra Scientist because they only cost 400 Blitz credits. I was lucky enough to pull 5 shards from a Blitz orb, and then I bought 2 400 credit packs, giving me 15 shards for my third villain. I'm now creeping through the villain campaign. So you think they would know which characters they're giving you for free and how many you actually need for villains campaign. I don't understand that. Now, the Shuri and Invisible Woman unlock with Sinister Six, yes, that is great, but legendaries are no longer legendary in this game. I highly recommend you watch my beginner's guide. I kind of touch on that subject. All in all, this ain't really... I mean, obviously you want to work through Heroes campaign and get as far as you can, because there are some great teams like Kree for Fury, for Omega Red. There are the Villains campaign where you can get Black Widow for your skill military and Elektra for your Shadowlands. Yeah, just tons of them. Plus Merc Lieutenant is quite wonderful from Heroes campaign. But otherwise, I don't know what's going on here. Deadpool is no good. He's on X-Force and helps unlock Doc Ock. Both are more mid to late game farms. Neither are needed or necessary. Thor is bound to Asgardians and Wave 1 Avengers. His passive is all about Wave 1 and Asgardians getting hit. So Asgardians is a terrible and hard team to farm. They're more of a mid-game farm. Yes, Hela is one of the best characters in the game. Even with power creep, she's still OP. She unlocks, I think it's 2 legendaries. Maybe 3. She's quite wonderful. Needless to say, the point being here, Thor is not good to go. I mean, yes, get him to 15, 20k. They give him to you for free. He will help you get through that cosmic lane to get to Moon Knight for Shadowlands, or Taskmaster for Chaos Theory. Or for Payday event, rather. So you can get that max gold once a month on that Flash event. Otherwise, Thor really is not... I would not take him much higher than that. Unless it's just a work of love, passion. You know, if you're really a big Thor fan, absolutely. Enjoy and invest in whoever you want. Captain America, great. Great character. Great kit. He takes a lot of T4s, which ain't a bad thing. Any character that takes T4s means they're good, okay? So... if people are saying you have to invest in it to get that awesome skill, it's worth investing in to get that awesome skill, right? So I don't... that, you know what I mean? People that tell you, oh, you have to invest T4s in them, they're terrible characters. Well, who's your best character? Doom? Did you put T4s? Yeah, all 4. You know, so you got to look at it that way too. I find this funny. Moving on here. In the Blitz store, you'll likely want to target Gamora. No, you don't, as she has recently received a rework and can now become empowered for even more potent attacks. To help with the villains campaign, Rhino is a great choice to cash in on your Blitz credits. Absolutely, that is correct. I thought about going Rhino, but he was 500 instead of 400. And considering I only had 10 characters, 1.5 Blitz teams, I didn't really have a ton of Blitz credits. And that's blitzing 3 times a day on the refreshes and spending the credits they give you, the 500. Trying to just get Blitz credits enough to open something. Plus, Rhino is used to unlock Shuri, which is the only legendary I actually think you need. Beginner to mid game, and then you can, after the first 6 months, you can go after all the legendaries you want. But she is the only one that is actually needed for Chaos Theory. Your flash events are the most important thing in this game. That's what your farming should be around, not a legendary character, because you don't need any of these legendaries to do any node in Dark Dimension anymore. It used to be you needed Phoenix to clear global. No, you don't. There's a ton of characters out now that even at 60 to 80,000 power are doing what Phoenix never could. So, just saying, legendaries are not legendary. That's why they made mythic legendaries, and they aren't even... They're great at what they're built for, but that's it. Like Omega Red's great for war. Adam Warlock is great for Infinity Watch. He's even an alright plug-and-play character, actually, because he's got a revive on death. He's got death proof. He's also got it's a move where they can't get rid of your positive effects. He's got an ability block with bleeds. He's quite a wonderful character. Yes, he is. But it takes so much to get to him. By the time you get to him, you have a ton of great other characters as well. Legendaries is not your focus, okay, guys? Flash events, challenges, those are. I promise you. Believe me. Believe me, I promise you. In the raid store, you want to be on the lookout to buy shards of Baron Zemo, as he's currently one of the best villain characters. He is very good. I'm not arguing that point. He's an amazing, amazing character. I don't recommend you focus farm any character starting out. When you start out, you need characters for blitzes, so you can get more blitz credits and gold to spend on characters to invest in, and open more character shards to get stronger characters, okay? You do not want to focus farm any of these. You open a raid orb, and each character shard, you get 9 shards for 2,700 credits. That's 100 credits per shard. Now, if I go and buy Baron Zemo for 1,400 credits and get 5 shards, that's almost 300. That's like 275, 280 a shard. I'm losing 180 credits. My roster is not growing wide. It's growing straight up on Baron Zemo. And it's hard to say he's not in the arena meta. He is a valuable plug-and-play character. He's good against Red Skull. He's an amazing all-around character. Ability blocks. He applies slow to multiple characters. Minions cannot be revived when he kills them with their special, I believe. He clears death proof. He's a great character. Do not focus farm. Get him as you get him. Please, I'm begging you. This is bad information that they're releasing here. Especially in PvP modes. That is true. But there's better characters that are going to nuke him. And they're going to keep making better characters. So this is one of the better characters that you can get free to play. And it wasn't always that way. Baron Zemo was actually kind of pricey, I believe, on his release. Also, recently added in the hero Yo-Yo. And this is awesome. Yo-Yo is great starting out to mid-game. She'll carry you through Ultimus raids quite far. I think you have to have Black Bolt with her. So that's another thing. I don't really know Yo-Yo's kit because when I was playing, the first 3.5 years, you couldn't get her past 5 stars unless you spent money. She's a premium orb exclusive. It was dumb. It was broke. Now you can get her in the raid orbs. So use her as you get her. She's a great character. Who fits well both in shield teams and in Inhumans. Yeah, I've never seen her really used in shield. Only in humans with Black Bolt. Because I think her ultimate increases his ultimate or something. And he gets to take that ultimate more often, which pretty much nukes the entire opposite team. So, just saying, do not focus farm, please. These characters are great. They aren't lying about that, but they're not worth the extra credits to be focus farmed. You need a wide roster to do blitzes, earn more blitz credits to open more orbs, and focus farm later on. If you can't get through blitz and get that 750 milestone easily, that's a problem. There's a ton of gold, resources, credits, orbs, premium orbs, red star orbs from blitz. That is it's actually a really, it's a big game mode for the first year of your career in Marvel Strike Force. In the arena store, Scream is a member of the Lethal Symbiotes team. Yes, she is. And you can't get Anti-Venom, and you can't get Symbiote Spider-Man. So that's good for Scream, which can shred through a lot of raids. Yes, she can if you have Spider-Man Symbiote and Anti-Venom and Venom and Carnage, which is a War Store credit or a War Store character. This is bad again, Scream. She also costs nearly twice as many arena credits opposed to M'Baku, which gives you Red Star promotion credits and Gold Star promotion credits. Scream alone, she does apply offense down, and it's a chain attack, so she can apply it to multiple characters, as well as a slow and a disrupt AoE, hitting the main and adjacent targets. She's a great, amazing character. I have her 6 red stars on my main account. Amazing in her team. She's a squishy, okay? She's the first one to always die. She's the one that Anti-Venom has a revive for. She is the reason they gave Anti-Venom the revive. I'm assuming because she's always dead, all right? And I have her at 140k. She is only good in raids if you have the whole team, okay? And 2 of the 5 characters you can't even get, so do not follow that. On the hero side, M'Baku is a good choice if you need a solid tank that can better protect your squad, and he's a necessity for repeating Wakandan Flash event, Chaos Theory. That is the first thing they said that made any sense to me in this at all. And I hate to say that. But I would have figured the 20 content creators down below would have given him a heads up, especially Tana. I followed Tana for so long. He inspires me, and he inspired me still to this day. He's one of the greatest Marvel Strike Force content creators. I also like McMole. There's a few other ones that are a little more toxic down there, but also put out a lot of great information and interesting content. I'm just saying, I figured between all of them, they would have come up with something a lot better than this. You'd be better off going Red Guardian than Scream. And if you're going for a tank, you don't want M'Baku, you want Red Guardian. M'Baku is great. He puts out a lot more damage than most people give him credit for while tanking. So he is rather good. But he is the most important character in Arena Store for the Wakandan Flash event. Okay, who won the race with the turtle and the hare? Who won the fight with David and Goliath? There's a trend here, and they want you to spend tons and tons of resources, tons and tons of credits, so then you in turn have to spend money to get the resources to further invest in your account. Do not listen to what we've seen so far, other than M'Baku. And if you're wondering why I'm saying this, go watch a couple of my beginner farming guides and listen to why I say you should farm who I believe you should farm. And the rational common sense will kick in, and you will see what these people are trying to do to you. All right, best character / teams for returning players. Now, this is totally speculation and subjective and based on each different person, because that's the one great thing about Marvel Strike Force in the beginning, is everybody goes down a different path through Mega Orb drops, through RNG, through Premium Orb drops, through how many shards you get from farming a node and how fast you can level someone up to move on to someone else. So everybody's path is completely different. We all get to the same point. Platinum, Golden War, Doom 2 raids, top 250 in the arena, top 100 in the arena, doing the blitzes just for the milestones, for the gold and credits, and then quitting because we've already maxed the characters. We all get to that point. We just all take different paths. So this will be interesting to see which path they believe most returning players took. This topic is a bit more nuanced, as it can vary based on when you last played. Yes. If you haven't started building up your Pym-Tech team, Yellow Jacket, Ghost, Dagger, Wasp, and Ant-Man, that would be a great place to start, as they are extremely useful to clear Dark Dimension. That is the only use, and it's a total waste of resources. So don't do it, please. And I'll explain further here. Let's read on. And they are required faction to unlock the explosive legendary character Jubilee. Yes, that's the only reason they're any good, okay? Ant-Man has slows, Wasp has evades and dodges like Spider-Man. Stature's a tank. She grows, she smashes, she's got some good AoEs. Yellow Jacket can pump out damage. Ghost is a great character, okay? Puts out a ton of damage, gains evade when drops below half health. All around amazing character Ghost is. But most characters work in a team. I would say get them to 5 stars so you can get your Jubilee unlocked. And that's not even priority because Jubilee, you then have to focus her whole team. It's just not worth worrying about in the beginning. As a returning player, yes, this is a good place, I guess, technically, to start these characters up. Do not start them up and do not waste your resources investing in them. There can be an argument made for Ghost, for Dark Dimension. Ghost is quite wonderful, and I use her in Alliance War attacks. She usually dies pretty quick, so she's so squishy, but she puts out a lot of damage. She's a great character, and as a team in Dark Dimension, they are amazing. But that's the only place, so it's not worth it, in my opinion. Her team, the Astonishing X-Men, Iceman, Kitty Pryde, Bishop, and Beast, are amazing. They are also incredibly powerful squad for raids, and this is absolutely true. This should be your raid team. All the way through Ultimus. This should be your first raid team. Now, in my guide, I say focus Shadowlands. You can pick any team. Wave 1, Shadowlands, X Factor, X Force, whatever you want to do, you can do, right? That's what the game's about. But this team at 350k will do what my 700k Symbiote does in half the time. They just blow stuff up, and they sustain so good. The enemy team literally never gets a turn because they're slowed, and you're just putting out so much damage. This team is amazing, okay? They're needed for Doom raids. They're great in Ultimus raids. They're great in War. They're great in Alliance or Arena. And anybody that says they're not good in Arena is crazy. Obviously, I would use Bishop, Jubilee, and Beast in Arena. And obviously, there's always going to be better teams. But starting out, they are an amazing team. Iceman is a late farm, Chapter 7, I believe. Villains, I believe, or Heroes for Iceman. I'm not sure. I think Heroes is the big silver dude. I can't think. Colossus. Kitty Pryde is a raid orb. She is easily accessible. Bishop's one of the two I recommend in the War Store. Bishop and Maria Hill, followed by Ghost, depending on how many war credits you have. Bishop is amazing damage dealer with pre-taunt or pre-fight taunt defense up, and he weaves in between having taunt and defense up and dropping taunt so they quit focusing him so he can be healed by Beast. He's just amazing. He is an all-around amazing character, just like Red Guardian, and he's basically on the ladder from Drax, Red Guardian, Bishop. It just keeps getting better from each character, okay? So yeah, absolutely. If you can get them, get to them. Beast is an earlier farm. I believe he's Nexus 4 something, 4-6, or Nexus 5-4 or something like that. 5-6, Chapter 5-6. So he's an easier one to get as well. But Bishop, Beast, and Jubilee are the team. Bishop's a great standalone character. So if you get him only out of the War Store, which is the reason I say he's the most important from the War Store. Plus he will help you in the mutant challenges and such. Amazing character. He's standalone. Okay, he can help you in any game mode in this game. He's amazing. Okay. Without Jubilee, the team is no good. So you're going to need Jubilee. She is the racket and pinion. She is the key that holds it together and the glue, and she inspires the whole team and empowers them. Like, she takes them to a whole nother level. And it's not worth investing in these, depending on where you're at in your account again. So they said this is subjective. Continuing this route by unlocking Jubilee and then building up X Factor characters. Shatterstar's overpriced in the Arena Store. Do not pay that till he drops to 500. Longshot is in the War Store, and I would say grab Longshot if you have enough war credits. It's between Longshot and Ghost for third place after Bishop and Maria Hill. Polaris, she is node farmable early on and an amazing character. She is Magneto 2.0. Just way better than Magneto. She does the same thing, but she adds barrier and heals and multiple man. He's a squishy, but he is very, very cool, and he's node farmable. I think he's actually in Doom War, so he's harder to get, I want to say. Don't quote me on that, but he's the least of them characters that's useful. His kit is quite swell because it clears positive effects with his minions or his summons, his duplicates. But this is not a team I would recommend to anybody that ain't in late game. They are very resource intensive. I thought about trying to start on them, but Shatterstar just takes so many arena credits, and you're gonna 6 months from now you ain't gonna have M'Baku up. You're not gonna be doing Chaos Theory, and the person that did is gonna be Red Star and their favorite characters, annihilating your Shatterstar and your long shot. Now, 2 months from now, if Shatterstar drops to 500 in the arena, this is an awesome option other than multiple man. And the team will function with the Dad Bros Polaris, and you can plug in, like, let's say a Kestrel or a Silver Surfer or a Captain Sam. Or a Bishop to keep the damage off your Dad Bros while they pump out those AoE crits. They are great characters. You do want these characters, absolutely. But depending on where you're at, again, this is for returning players, I guess. So maybe you're at that point where you're not farming M'Baku anymore in the arena store, and you can go after Shatterstar. That's totally up to you. You know, it's a long grind, guys. I would not recommend these. These are a late game farm for me anyway. Just my opinion. This is all my opinion, guys. Take it with a grain of salt. You'll unlock one of the best new characters available, Adam Warlock. And he is quite amazing. His kit is wonderful. Tons of bleeds, big damage. When he dies, he comes back and regenerates health with death proof. He also puts up Safeguard, which it prevents anybody from flipping or removing positive effects off him or the Infinity Watch. So if he's a plug and play, it'd only be for him. He is a great standalone character. He's not worth farming this whole 50 characters to get this one character. Infinity Watch is about to be done for. They are going to be a great war offense, obviously, and they're going to do what you build them to do. They're going to kick people's butts. But it's not worth... To me, you're better off waiting for the Eternals. And then finding 3 characters you can plug in. Adam Warlock would be one of the 3 that you could consider if you had him. This is something to work toward, and being mid-game, this is absolutely an option. These are avenues you can take. Are they the best avenues? I don't know what the best avenue is. I'm more into setting you up pre-game so you can make these decisions mid-game. So absolutely, this could be an option for you. Now, Phyla-Vell, you can't even get her. It's an RNG drop from an overpriced arena credit orb. You're more likely to get 5-star or 5 shards of Hand Archer, or Shield Guard, or, the Taunting Tank for Shield, or Hydra Armor Guard. You know what I mean? This is minions, right? Than you are of getting Phyla-Vell. That is a joke. Moondragon is not farmable. Again, guys, these are mid-game, and even at mid-game or late-game, I would not farm Phyla-Vell out of those arena orbs. They are junk. Worst way to spend your arena credits in the whole world. Especially if you're free to play. Do not follow this. Adam Warlock is great. Gamora is great. Phyla-Vell is great. They're all great together, and you can't get 2 of them, and one of them takes unlocking 30 other characters. So this is a team that, when it comes together, obviously invest into them, build them up. They're a great team. They are in the arena and dominating at this moment. And I have to remember, this was made August 3rd. It is now November 2nd. So, what is that? 2-3 months they lasted in arena meta. And the Eternals drop tonight or tomorrow, or the new patch 5.8. Who knows when we're going to get the Eternals exactly, but they are here. They are coming. Within this month or two, the fourth quarter here, November, December, we will have a new arena meta. And you might see 1 or 2 of these names pop into some arena teams because they over invested in them, or took them up to like 200k power level. But they're not near as good outside of the full 5 team. Okay, believe that. They're like, it's night and day. Join an active alliance, and this is crucial. This is one of the best tips they have given right here, and they don't even got to explain it. I promise you, join in an active alliance. Active being 16 to 24 members actively participating in World Warrior, doing raids, doing arenas. If they're not, it's not an active alliance, okay? And if they're recruiting at 16 plus members, that's great. That's a place to stay for a while. Don't jump alliance to alliance willy-nilly if they're over 16 active members, because you can be in an alliance with 24 members and only, let's say, 12 of them actually play the game. The other 12 just barely even participate. You know what I mean? So you'll get a feel for it. Just if you have less than 12 alliance members, I would look to merge or definitely get to recruiting and see some intense members coming in fast. Otherwise, jump ship. I would highly recommend that. Loyalty is huge, but it only can go so far, and you're stunting your growth massively. Alliances are so crucial to your growth. One of the most critical paths to earning resources to power up characters is through raids. Amen. So you need to join an active alliance as soon as possible. That's 30-60%ing these raids, so you get max rewards. And you want to find an alliance at your power level, ideally. So you're actually able to clear nodes and get even more rewards. This cannot be understated. Amen, brother. Preach, Scopely, preach. For new players, you'll automatically be put into an alliance when you get to a certain level and unlock the feature. If you want to join a different alliance, try using the global chat to advertise your level and how active you are. I've tried this, and it sucks because it's so toxic, okay? Bear that in mind. There's going to be a lot of toxicity. You're going to have to block a lot of people. They will say stuff just to be jerks. All right, carrying on here. My son's headed to bed. I had to get me a hug, before he passes out. Cannot be understated. Getting an active alliance. Active being the key word. Any alliance is better than no alliance, but try finding an active one. I will say this. I've started a Discord. I have a YouTube channel. I am going everything Marvel Strike Force. 2 years experience, and I'm going to have a recruitment where you can advertise your clan. Don't spam. You can post twice a day. If you're seen spamming several times a day, I'm just going to ban you. You can also post if you're looking for an alliance, what you're interested in, what your power levels are and such. It's a great way. MSF.gg, the Discord for Marvel Strike Force. There's tons of great resources out there to get into a good clan. If you go into global chat, you're more likely going to get somebody talking trash, or they're just going to be trying to trigger you and punk on you and upset you. It's sad to say, but it is one of the most toxic chats I've ever been. Like, I posted a recruitment message, and 3 out of the 5 messages I seen were toxic. 4 out of 5 of the messages I seen were toxic. And, well, there was actually like 20 messages. One dude was just spamming nonsense, talking trash. It was really sad. But there are other avenues out there. I hope that you check out my Discord or msf.gg. Their home Discord and such, because they do have recruitment thanks to that. And there are other content creators out there that do the same thing that I'm offering, where you can recruit or advertise for your clan, or advertise that you're looking for a clan. If that will help the Marvel Strike Force community, please check out my Discord and get yourself in an active alliance. This is an awesome section right here so far. For new players, you automatically, you want to get out of that alliance pretty soon. The cool part is you can start your own Ultimates raids for 600 keys, and you do 5 attacks, and that's all it is. And you get the max reward, so it's pretty good. Often including the official Discord server right there in the official Facebook group. Now, I am in the Facebook group, but I don't completely understand it, and I'm not really tech savvy, guys, so I'm learning as I go. The most tech I have is a cell phone. Is that sad? I used to have a cordless home phone. So a lot of this is new to me, and a lot of it is not my cup of tea. So if that is not your cup of tea, you will have to use global chat, and you'll just have to sort through them, sort them out, sort out the toxic people, do what you can do. Definitely check out that Discord server, though. It is a great asset. Scopely's a great company. They are here to make money, and they are doing great things. They've created some of the best games over the last 10 to 15, 20 years. And I've played most of them not even thinking, hey, this was made by Scopely. I just played it because the game was so good. They are known for buying out companies, though. So the game's already good, whether it's from Scopely or not. If you're returning, is it better to start over? Absolutely not. This game is a time investment game. Starting over is just throwing away free stuff that you've already earned or free loot. If you haven't played for a year or more, I want to hear what they have to say, actually. You might experience that climbing up the rankings in Arena is more difficult than you remember, but don't feel that you have to start over just because of this. Arena is only one of the places to earn power cores, and there are a lot of other methods, including daily objectives and recurring milestones. Yes, but Arena is crucial. Top 250 is crucial to your power cores and Arena credits. Don't depending on how long your account has been made, starting over actually may be better. But honestly, I wouldn't. It's just throwing away time and experience. Characters, your arena, you will struggle in, guaranteed, 100%. Hands down. That's the only mode that you will probably may struggle forever on, if you're not spending money. And that's another thing they're not talking about here. If you're a spender, a lot of this you can do whatever you want. None of this is really relevant. If you're a spender, definitely don't reset your account because you can easily climb arena. Free to play, that's a different story. And the daily objectives they're talking about is if you spend 1 million gold, you get 50 power cores. If you spend 4 energy refreshes, which is 200 power cores, every 2 days you'll get 50 cores. Oh yeah, and that's the only cores you can earn from milestones. You also get cores from arena weight. If you're a returning player, you really don't because you're lower down. You get way less power cores. You will struggle on power cores. They do give you quite a few in the monthly login calendar, but they have no mercy for somebody. Let's say your internet's not working, your phone's shut off for a day. You're missing that 250 power cores on day 30 or day 31 of the calendar, which is really, really sad that they set it up that way. Raid Shadow Legends, you miss a day, the calendar don't move. When you come back, you will carry on from where you're at. So you do not miss the rewards. You just, essentially, it's adding another day to the end of the month. This is just another tactic to, you know what I mean? It's a stranglehold. So they have no mercy for anybody that misses a day of logging in. Also, there are new event campaign missions that happen regularly that require to use characters with certain trait. They have made this way easier. You only have to use that on the hard one. So easy and medium, certain trait, you don't have to do anymore. Use any 5 characters. The more expansive your roster is, the better the chance that you'll have the needed characters to participate in those events and get great rewards. Again, do not focus farm. You need more characters, better chance of having the event target characters. Open Blitz Orbs and Raid Orbs. Do not farm Zemo. Do not farm Gamora. Please. Needed characters to participate in those events. Okay. 1 second. We got a train here. Be right back. Alright. It never fails. Trains always come in the middle of my videos. Starting over would significantly set you back in terms of raid progress. Absolutely. Raids are where you'll earn a lot of resources. It is the best resource earning game mode, in my opinion. But it doesn't give you power cores. The most necessary resource in this game. The premium currency. Raids are where stop gear and store currency, so you'll want to jump back into Alliance that is actively raiding as soon as possible. Amen. That active Alliance is huge. The only circumstance in which it might be recommended to create a new account is if you originally started over a year ago and played for less than 30 days. Otherwise, the positive aspects of your established roster outweigh the negatives. They're actually giving you way better characters now in the beginning for free. And they actually give you 1 random calendar now, whereas it used to be you'd always get Hela unlocked at 2 stars. Like I got Ghost Rider on this one, which also, it just reinforces that I believe a Supernatural rework is coming with a mythical legendary perhaps. After Spider-Man and their mythical legendary, I do believe that's going to happen. So, starting over, 30 days, absolutely. 30 days is nothing. That's a throwaway. I just started an account 2 days ago for a day-by-day series to show you, walking through how I would do it with 2 years of experience and knowing what I know. How to use energy effectively. There we go. Campaign energy is one of the most important free resources in the game, and it refills automatically over time. There are also 3 times per day when you claim a bonus energy campaign. They give you 80 energy 3 times a day. They should be giving you 120. 40 energy is a big difference 3 times a day. So try to setting reminders to ensure that you don't miss these. That 80 energy is huge. It is free. Free is free is free. Absolutely do not miss them, please. It will help you achieve your save the world milestone and get those free power cores and free resources. Don't set alarms. You'll just get used to it in a routine. It is also advisable that you buy campaign energy every day with power cores, at least until the refresh amount shows 100 power cores. That is your 450 core energy refreshes. Now, if you are not in the top 250 of Arena, you will dwindle in power cores initially. Upon getting in the top 250 of Arena and spending 1 million gold and hitting 1,800 points in the Save the World milestone, you will get, I think it's like 150 or 175 power cores. What helps is when you're doing your daily objectives, you receive these free credits to get 1 energy refresh for free, and then you're only spending 150 cores a day rather than 200. Which is actually how you accumulate power cores for free in this game. Absolutely do your 4 energy refreshes a day. It is a must. You get tons of golden resources from spending that energy in campaigns, plus character shards, gear. It's just, that's one of the top 3 rules. Your 4 energy refreshes are so important. Logging in is another one. Having fun is huge. Another important resource is raid energy, and it also refills over time. Participating in raids is essential to making significant roster progress, so try to find an alliance that is actively raiding. When possible, try to use as much raid energy in each play session, and do not let your raid energy set at the maximum level. Amen. When I log on, raids are, I probably do them within the first 15 minutes. I'll go to raids and I'll do my 5 attacks. And then as it recoups throughout the day, I'll go in and do 2 or 3 attacks here and there as it's recouping. I'll get between 8, I think it's like 8 and 11 attacks per raid, and we're running a Greek raid and an Ultimus or a Doom 1 raid. So we're running 2 raids a day, and I'm doing 8 to 11 attacks in each. This really helps in your World War milestone, which is one of the few places you get tier T4 ability materials. It is only 20 of those a week, so every 2 months you can upgrade 1 ability. That's how important World Warrior milestone is. That's good advice right there. Gear guide. Gear is one of the most critical ways of increasing a character's power in Marvel Strike Force. Increasing a character's gear tier will allow you to unlock and upgrade their abilities. Their abilities is what actually gives you the power, as well as allow access to new and more challenging content like Dark Dimension. Starting at gear tier 10, unique gear will be required to keep enhancing your character's gear tier. This gear is used as a crafting material for unique middle left gear slot. This is a type of gear cycles through the supply, raid, and war stores. Few and far between, but it does cycle through, and they are crucial. You will hit this bottleneck on a lot of characters. And the gear they're talking about is for skill, bio, mutant, tech, and mystic. And there's a piece of gear that's unique to each of those 5, and you have to get, let's say, 24 of them for 1 piece of gear eventually. It's rather insane, especially when each one costs you 60 or 80,000 gold. So you need 24 of them. There's 2.5 mil, 2 million gold easy. You can also obtain large amounts of gear from raids, War Dark Dimension, and campaign missions. Make sure to play through each Dark Dimension twice to receive as much gear as possible. You actually receive Ultron once or twice in one of them. So it goes gear in the first one, Ultron in the second one, or is it Ultron in the first one, gear in the second one? I don't know, but Doom's in the 4th one. So every other one's gear, and then you also get a character. So Ultron, I believe, is number 2, DD2, and then Doom is DD4, which is quite awesome, right? Great characters. Absolutely do them twice. The first one's a free one. Do whatever you want. The second one is timed, so you're just getting put on a leaderboard. Now, if the time actually ended up meaning something, the leaderboard is competitive. It's kind of cool. Adds an aspect. I like it. I wish they'd go a little bit further on the leaderboards and a little more in-depth. Would just make it more interesting. You know what I mean? More competitive, more detailed. That'd be awesome. That's just not a personal preference, but absolutely do that. If you're trying, you get like 1,300 pieces of gold gear each time you beat Dark Dimension, each one of the levels. So that's 8 big chunks of gear. And you get a lot of mini uniques, enough to do at least 2 characters. I think it's like, let's say 60 to 80 mini uniques of a select one. And then that's the 2 pieces of gear. So you can take them from gear tier 12 to gear tier 14. Just from beating DD1 or a Dark Dimension round. If you're trying to find a specific piece of gear, earning 3 stars on a campaign mission will allow you to auto win those missions for their rewards. And finally, make sure to check the stores every day because the contents refresh at a set time. Every 8 hours it refreshes. So I usually reset of milestones at 7 p.m. for me. So I'll go in and shop then. And then it'll reset at like 3 a.m., but I get up at 6 a.m., so I'm in the middle of the next one. I'll shop then, and then it resets at 11. I'll shop then. That is a good thing to go and check. It is one of the main ways to get certain objects that you can't get any other way. Doom Campaign, I think it's Doom War Campaign or Doom Campaign. They have amazing gear and amazing shards, but every 3 nodes takes a different team. So you have to invest in that team, let's say 50 million gold and tons of gear to get them to where they can beat those 3 nodes. And then you go to the next one, you need a totally different team. So there goes another 50 million gold and a ton of resources to beat those 3 nodes. Doom Campaign is quite amazing, but it's all mid to late game. ISO 8 guide. Now, this is a guide I haven't put out yet. I've been talking about it a lot. I talked about it in my new series because it's more of a streaming complete walkthrough guide, node form, everything. But ISO 8, I went into detail on how to decide who and what ISO 8 to go with. And I gave some tips, some easy things to look for. Let's see what they offer here. ISO 8 is a fun way to power away to customize your teams in combat. There are a variety of classes and effects available in the ISO 8 system, most of which utilize the powerful vulnerable status effect. That is true. ISO 8 is available in ISO 8 store and from the Isotope 8 campaign nodes. Once you level your character up to level 75 and upgrade them to T1 level 5 ISO 8 green, you'll be able to unlock T2 ISO 8 blue. The next evolution of ISO 8, Tier 2 ISO 8 adds additional effects to each ISO 8 class and further increases the stat benefits. T2 is night and day from T1. Massive increases in what those classes do. Lots of damage. Classes, as well as applying multiple vulnerables as opposed to one. Classes, Striker performs a bonus attack if the enemy has vulnerable. So your Skirmisher has to hit somebody, give them vulnerable, or your Raider does, and then your Striker gets double attack. And as you increase Striker, it will actually do more damage on that bonus attack as well as all-around damage. Striker is great. But when you're using a Striker, you want to use it more on a character that has a negative effect on their basic attack. Or a cleanse. So if they're hitting them twice, they're taking 2 positive effects away when they hit them with their basic, and then they had vulnerable, so hit them again, they're taking away 4 positives. That's somebody you'd want to run Striker on, potentially if they have enough focus to clear those positive effects. Or if they're placing defense down for 2 turns, and they hit them again, they put it for another 2, that's 4 turns of defense down. You're going to want a lot of focus, but also if they have enough focus already through their team, Striker is a great way to go on characters like that. Fortifier gives you barrier. High armor, high health. High health is the real thing here. Wolverine has a self-healing, a passive. Sabretooth, a lot of characters like that have a passive heal. I'd even say Omega Red has a passive heal. So I don't know why Fortifier is good for self-healing abilities, but I think more for a healer for self-healing abilities. High health is crucial on Fortifier. You can only have 35% of your max health. Thanos has 500,000 max health. 35% of that is what did we say earlier? 150, 180,000 barrier. My bishop hits for 320,000. 190, 220,000 per hit. That barrier will absorb 1 hit. It won't take a whole crit, and that's only Thanos. Thanos is almost double health pool of 80% of the characters in this game. So let's take a more realistic character that has 350,000 health. You're only going to get 35% of that. About 100k barrier. Is that awesome? Yes, that's very awesome, right? But the hard cap is what makes Fortifier not so bueno. T2 of Fortifier is amazing, okay? And it's almost worth going with for the sustainability and the huge damage it gives you on Tier 2. So they're improving it, and they're making it more useful. But for the longest time, that's the one that you would just never use. Luke Cage is probably the go-to for Fortifier at this point. He's a great example and a great way to use Fortifier. Healer, it gives a minor regeneration to the most injured character on your team, and it's a 5% heal, I believe, because it is a minor regeneration. But I think it also heals them for 5% of your max health every turn that you take. Plus, it increases... It's by 5% for certain levels, so you can get it up to like a 15-30% increase to your heal. So like Night Nurse goes and she heals you for 20% of your max health. Well, if you're a healer ISO 8 and it increases your heal by 30%, that heal is now a 50% heal. I do not know what the hard cap is, but if Fortifier is 35% of your health, I'm kind of assuming a heal can only probably do 35% heal. I don't know. I have seen it where it's taking characters from no life to full life, so I don't know how exactly where the cap, or if there is even a cap on healer. Skirmisher applies to vulnerables. It also gives you a 50% increase at level 5 T1 ISO 8 to your focus. So the ability to apply slow, defense down, negative effects, stuns, Skirmisher will give you that focus. This is best used on characters who assist on other characters' turns or characters with high speed. Yeah, because even on an assist, they will apply a vulnerable. So that is true. And high speed, they're going to be going more than anybody else. They're going to be pumping out tons of vulnerables. The vulnerable just allows your strikers to take advantage of it and actually do more damage and in a bonus attack. So the vulnerables are huge. Raider is based on crit. It also gives you crit rate and crit damage. You're going to want to use a character like X Factor where the dad bros already have like 50% crit chance. You go and put Raider on them, it gives them another 35% chance to crit. They're going to crit every time, and they're going to do an AoE and nuke enemy teams. Raider's also good for people like Wolverine, who it says like on their special or their ultimate, 100% guaranteed to crit. Well, you don't need the crit rate from Raider. What you need is the crit damage. And it gives you 20% here and there, 10% here and there for your crit damage. Let's say it's a 50% boost to crit damage. You can nuke somebody really bad when you're already nuking somebody. Okay? It's quite huge. Raider, most characters start with, I believe it's 10% crit chance. And a good character to run Raider on will have 15% a lot of times, because that's, I would call that innate crit chance already, which was like the dad bros start at 15%. But as you increase their abilities on their, like the 664 on their skill abilities, they get more crit chance. And then you put Raider on them, and their crit just goes guaranteed. It's insane. But Raider actually places vulnerable when they crit. So if they hit all 5 and they crit on these four will have vulnerable. This guy won't. If they crit on all 5 of them, all 5 have vulnerable. Whereas Skirmisher only places 1 vulnerable. Now, Tier 2, I believe of Skirmisher actually applies 2 vulnerable to the main target. So that is an improvement to the Skirmisher, but Raider is how you get tons and tons of vulnerable. So 1 Raider and 4 strikers, if that Raider crits every time, those 4 strikers are going to be able to take advantage of all those vulnerables. There's a lot of theory crafting and things you can do to make a team that ain't so good, really good. Like if you have 5 damage dealers and you throw a healer ISO on all 5 of them, every time one of those damage guys take us a turn nuking an enemy, they're going to put out a minor regeneration and heal the most hurt ally for like, I think it's 5% or 10%. And it might improve as you level it up. So that's a strategy that you can use to keep your squishy damage dealers alive. Theory crafting. Advanced options. Let's see what we got here. This video is going insanely long, and I'm so grateful to Scopely. There is some good information in here, but if you're going to follow a little bit of this, you're probably going to follow all of it. And there's some very, very bad information in here. So I really hope that those of you that see my video on this, hear where I'm coming from with an open mind, see where they're coming from with an open mind, go watch my beginner's guide and see why I'm coming from where I'm coming from. The rationale behind it, the common sense factor, you know, you put a little effort into thinking about it and you're going to get so much return on that. All right. Advanced options. Whether you're a new or returning player, you'll definitely want to check out the Advanced Options tab. Amen. These are quality of life here. Find it by going to the Options menu, the gear icon in the upper right corner. It looks like a little cogwheel. Scroll down, then select the Advanced button. There you will find a number of bonus features that you can choose to activate or enhance your gaming experience, including open multiple orbs at once. That's no longer in there because they've now automatically put it on all the things where you can open up to 10 orbs at one time or 1. So if you have 1,000 orbs, you can only open 10 max. It used to be, it was still 10. When you would activate this, you could still only open 10. But it didn't give you the single option anymore. You had to go turn this off to be able to open 1 orb. Well, now they just give you the option automatically, and they removed that. Item count and store is huge. For years, we'd have to back out, go to a character, look at what gear they need, and it would then tell you how much of that gear you have. You then had to remember it, go into the store, and try to find it and buy it. If you thought you didn't have enough of these resources, like let's say Ballistic Weave for Emma Frost. You didn't know that you had, or you're like, man, I need that so bad for my Emma Frost and my Mr. Sinister. I'm going to buy it. And then you go and look and you have 500 of them. You don't know unless you activate this. It'll actually tell you right there below the gear how many you have. This is amazing. Quick Alliance access stops the load screens, I think, and it actually just gets you in there a lot faster. The combat text is huge because you have 5 characters lined up right here, right? He's got 20 negative effects. He's got 20 positive effects. You're going to see all these green effects in front of these red effects. And then this guy's got a bunch of effects right here above his head. And you're not going to know who has what or where or why. Reduced combat text will shrink it down to like 4 or 5 effects above each character. And then it'll say like a red circle with 5 numbers or 6 numbers. When you hold on it or you click on it, it will actually expand and show you a whole list of what effects are on that person. It's huge. Cycle through saved squads and blitz menu. You used to have to hit change team. It would load up. You'd pick a different team. You'd hit ready. another loading screen. Then you'd hit battle, another loading screen. Now you can hit find opponent, battle, continue, click an arrow. It'll go over to your next team that you have already pre-registered. Hit find opponent, battle. It's that much quicker, so much easier. Amazing. And there's a lot more in there as well. Definitely go in there and check it out. Where to find more details? msf.gg, and this is huge. They've been having a lot of problems lately. The server can't keep up or something. I keep getting messages. That's like the only message I ever get from that. But Pimp Toxie and Ty are both amazing. The content and the server is amazing. Okay, there's nothing to argue about there. It's non-negotiable. There's no perspective. It's just amazing. I'm not gonna. Some of the stats are skewed, obviously, in there. This goes into content creators. I've watched every single one of these people at one point or one time, and they all put out mostly good information or entertaining information. If you want upbeat, you got Valley Flying and Goofy Rexy. Tana, he'll just lay it to you straight. He's very smart, very knowledgeable, and I love his knowledge based on comics in the Marvel universe. He reminds me so much of myself, but he's so much more knowledgeable. Philosopher is quite literally a genius, along with Reminex. They're number crunchers, they're stat crunchers, but Philosopher has got a lot of things wrong as well. But not everybody's perfect. Sometimes their view, you're not always going to have the same view, but you're going to, like I said earlier, you're going to get to that same ending, which is being amazing in every game mode, but everybody takes a different path. So one of these guys might say, go this path, and I say go this path, and this other guy says go this path. We all end up at that finish line. We just all took a different route, okay? So Valley Flying is very upbeat, and I like how he says, let's go smash it. He was one of the first ones I ever seen. Amazing content creator. McMole 2 is also a number cruncher. He has a lot of access to the test servers and such, and he shows off a lot of characters pre-launch for that character and their uses in different game modes. He's a great content creator as well. Mobile Gamer's funny. I really loved Mobile Gamer for the longest time for his recommendations on evaluations of store offers and just how he teams up with people. He's a funny guy, right? He's just a funny dude with the aluminum foil hat and his Nobu Boomer or Boomer, you know what I mean? Ravager Boomer. Awesome guy, but then he became kind of toxic, and there's a lot of behind the scenes things that most people don't know, how he downgraded Arturic. There's a South American content creators whose name is not on this list, who I watched and is very, very smart about the game and puts out great content. He also suffers from, I believe it's a mental disability. Maybe it's Tourette's or like tics and stuff. And I believe Mobile Gamer was not so polite to him, needless to say, on private chats. And that kind of ruined that for me for Mobile Gamer. But he is a great content creator, very knowledgeable. His focus is more Marvel Future Revolution. I believe he keeps making content here because it gets him paid. But he is very knowledgeable. He puts out some funny stuff. Reminex, he's just a good old boy. You know what I mean? He's smart. He delivers you accurate, awesome information, and he spends a lot of money to get characters where you want your characters to be, and let you know if you should even take them that far, which I find to be awesome. Again, that's like Philosopher in that aspect. Mr. Free to Play was my go-to with Tana. Mr. Free to Play, he's just a good guy, and he puts out content in a way that you can understand it. And he inspired me a lot. Him and Tana both. Shanksy I've never got to experience or enjoy. 3088 Gaming, I don't know who that is. And these other ones, I do not know them at all. But if these content creators and community leaders that contribute to this guide to help players effectively plan their progression, I find it hard to believe that half, if not all, these people in here wouldn't tell them the same thing I just said on every aspect of this guide that they are putting out. Half of it is junk. Okay? Bad information. And the advice they give at certain points on here is misguided. And these are so vague. I mean, I could have went to the ISO 8 guide. I could have went in the game to the ISO 8s, and this is exactly what the text tells you. This is not helping anybody. And to say that you want to put a fortifier on a high health self healing abilities, no, 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 you don't. I don't want fortifier on my Wolverine, and he's got a self heal ability. I don't want fortifier on my Sabretooth. I imagine there is some situations where you would, but that's just text that could really mislead a newer player to mid game player that doesn't completely understand ISO 8, and I completely don't understand it. There's times that I have to go and research and really get other people's opinions to see different sides of it. Even when I'm locked in on which ISO I want for that character and what I think would be best, at this point it's still not cheap enough to be able to swap ISO 8s unless you're spending money. So you kind of have to really be certain which ISO 8 you want. So there's just a lot of bad information here, and there's a lot of good information. I hope more than not get to see this video, get my take on it a little bit. My input, it is just my opinion. Again, I could be completely lying to you, but it's not who I am. I really hope you go and watch my beginner's guide and watch this video because it will help you so much. Thanks again. I hope you're all staying healthy out there, being safe. I'm dealing with this cold weather and snow. I'm looking forward to a 65 high this weekend. I hope you all stay warm. Have a great night, and we'll see you in the next one.